Hello everyone, we are the group 4 and we are going to discuss about logic. Logic is a science of correct reasoning. It helps us think clearly, analyze situations, and make valid conclusions. In mathematics and philosophy, logic is used to test whether a reasoning is valid or not. Used in mathematics, computer programming, philosophy, and even daily decision making. It aims to help us distinguish valid arguments from invalid ones, making reasoning clearer and more organized. Logic is a language of reasoning in mathematics. It helps us prove whether a mathematical statement is true, false, or conditionally true. What is a proposition? A proposition is a declarative statement that can be either true or false but not both. We use letters like P, Q, and R to represent propositions. Examples. Proposition P, 2 plus 2 equals 4, is true. Proposition Q, the moon is made of cheese, which is false. R, 1 plus 2 equals 5, which is also false. Statements versus propositions. Definition of statement. In logic, a statement is a sentence that can express a complete thought that can be identified as either true or false. It tells us something about the world that can be verified or denied. In simple terms, a statement is something you can agree or disagree with. It has a truth value. Kinds of statement. Declarative. Make statements. Interrogative. Ask a question. Imperative gives command. Exclamatory expresses emotion. Note, only declarative statements can be considered propositions. Statement versus proposition. The crucial element is the truth value. If a declarative sentence has a clear truth value, true or false, it is both a statement and a proposition. Note, all propositions are statements, but not all statements are propositions. A statement is any declarative sentence. It simply declares or says something. A proposition is a statement that can be judged as true or false.
In the previous slide, Ms. Mira discussed what is a proposition and what is a statement. Always take note that all propositions are statements, but not all statements are propositions. Now, let's find out what is not a proposition. A statement is not a proposition if and only if they cannot be judged as true or false, meaning they don't have a definite truth value. Questions, commands, and exclamations are generally not considered propositions because they are neither true nor false. Questions is not a statement of fact. Example of these are, what time is it? Are you coming to the party? On the other hand, commands is an instruction, not something true or false. For example, close the door. Please sit down. While exclamations expresses emotion or reaction, but it doesn't assert any fact that could be proven true or false. Example of these are, wow, how beautiful the sunset is. Opinions, ambiguous, and incomplete sentences or phrases are some of the examples that are not considered as a propositions. Opinions are subjective. It's true for some, false for others. For examples, coffee is the best drink. It can be true to you, but false for me. I think summer is more fun than winter. So these statements are not considered as proposition because the statement itself are neither true nor false. Ambiguous. It is unclear or has multiple meanings, so we can tell whether it's true or false. Examples, she is over there. They are ready. Next, incomplete sentences or phrases. It doesn't make a full assertion or claim. They lack a complete thought. Examples are running fast, a tall man by the door. To sum it up, we can only say that it is a proposition when it is a declarative statement that asserts or denies something and can be classified as either true or false, while it is not considered proposition when they are neither true nor false and cannot assign a truth value. Now, let's discuss simple and compound propositions. First, what is a simple propositions? Simple propositions, or you can call it as atomic, it expresses a single idea, cannot be broken down further without losing meaning. One idea and no connectives. Simple proposition is a sentence that expresses a single self-contained idea. Example of these are: the library is open, the sun rises in the east, 5 plus 5 equals 10. The number 2 is a prime number. Always remember that a simple proposition have one idea and no connectives. A while ago, we tackled about the simple propositions, and now we are going to discuss the compound proposition. Compound propositions, or the molecular one, combines two or more simple propositions using logical connectives like and, or, if, and then. It is also a statement that is formed by joining two or more simple statements with logical connectives. For example, it is raining and the ground is wet. The answer is right or the question is wrong. The number 5 is an odd number and a prime number. The sky is blue and the sun is shining. Compared to simple proposition, this compound proposition is using logical connectives to combine two or more simple propositions. Always remember that simple proposition have only one idea and no connectives, while compound proposition combines two or more simple proposition using the logical connectives.
Logical connectives. Logical connectives are used to form compound propositions. Those are the operators that combine simple propositions to form compound ones. Are symbol or words such as and, or, not, if, then, and if the only if that are used to connect two or more simple propositions to form and compound propositions. There's connective act like operators that determine the truth value of the resulting compound statement. In the picture number 1, connectives, negation, that symbol is not. Example, the sky is not blue. Truth condition, reverse the true value, true becomes false and vice versa. In the picture, number 2, connectives, conjunction, symbol and. And the example, the sky is blue and the grass is green. Number 2 example, she is a nurse and she works at the hospital. The truth condition, true only if both P and Q are true. In the picture, connective number 3, disjunction, or the symbol is or. Example, Number 1 example, I will eat rice or I will eat bread. Number 2 example, I will go to school or stay at home. Through it, at least one or P or Q is true, right? Number 4 in the connectives, conditional. They use a symbol if and then. If is letter P and then the Q is then in the symbol. Example, if it's rain, then the ground will be wet. Number 2, if you study hard, then you will pass the exam. False only when P is true and the Q is false, right? Connectivity number 5. Be conditional, colon P, if and only if in the symbol Q. Example number 1. You will pass the course if and only if you pass the exam. Example number 2. The number is even if and only if it's divisible by the truth when both P and Q are either true or false.
Good day everyone, my name is Hazel Malinaw. I will be discussing about the laws of logic na tinatawag din na fundamentals laws of thought. The basic rules or principles that form the foundation of logical reasoning. They describe how the human mind should think correctly to arrive at truth and avoid contradiction. So in short, the laws of logic guides us para maging consistent and rational. Mas madali nating ma-identify kung tama o mali ang isang reasoning or conclusion. Kaya very important to, especially sa mathematics, philosophy, and even sa daily decision making natin. So there are 3 main fundamental laws of thought. Let's talk about the first fundamental, which is the law of identity. So whatever is, a thing is identical to itself and different from other thing. This law ensures that each idea or object has a definite and consistent meaning. Everything is identical to itself. So, halimbawa, if P is a statement, then P is P. So symbolically, we write it as P equals P. So, diba, simple lang siya, pero may logic. So, here's some example of law of identity. So, first one, 2 is equals to 2. The number 2 will always be 2. Hindi siya magiging 3 or iba pang number. A cat is a cat. Ang pusa ay mananatiling pusa, hindi siya magiging aso. This book, ang libro, meron siyang sariling identity, hindi siya mag-iiba. Hazel is Hazel, ibig sabihin, ikaw ay ikaw, hindi nagbabago yung identity ng isang tao. Honesty is honesty. So, hindi siya magiging kasinungalingan or ibang value. So in short, a law of identity reminds us that something is what it is. It cannot be something else at the same time. So next, the second fundamental law of thought is the law of non-contradiction. So according to this law, a statement cannot be both true or false at the same time and in the same sense. In simple terms, it is something cannot be and not be at the same time. Symbolically, we can write it as not both A and not A. So in other words, hindi pwedeng sabay na totoo ang isang bagay at kabaligtaran nito, vice versa. So this law ensures consistency in reasoning. It prevents contradictions, helping us distinguish truth from falsehood. So some of the examples of law of non-contradiction. So the light is on, the light is off. Hindi pwedeng parehong tama. The light can be turned on and off at the same time. It is raining, it is not raining. Sa parehong oras or place, hindi pwedeng umuulan, hindi rin pwedeng hindi umuulan na at the same time. The ball is round, the ball is not round. Hindi pwedeng parehong tama. Ang bola ay either bilog or hindi bilog. 2 plus 2 is equals to 4 and 2 plus 2 is equals not to 4. Not equal to 4. Hindi pwedeng parehong tama kasi magkasalungat sila. Hazel is in the room and Hazel is not in the room. So, in a particular place or time, isa lang yung totoo sa statement. Either si Hazel ay nandoon or wala. So, the law of non-contradiction simply tells us that the two opposite statements cannot be true at the same time. It keeps our reasoning consistent and helps us identify what's true and what's false. And lastly, the third fundamental law of thought, which is the law of excluded middle. According to this law, every statement is either true or false, no middle ground. In logic, this means that for any proposition, P, either P is true or its negation, not P, is true. So, symbolically, we write it as P or not P. So, in simpler terms, something is not or something is. Wala nang gitna or in between. So, kung sa isang statement, sinasabing hindi totoo, ibig sabihin ito ay mali, walang middle ground. So, for examples, it is raining. This statement is either true or false. Hindi pwedeng partly true or halfway raining lang. Number 5 is an even number. This can only be true or false. Walang middle option. This cup is made of glass. It is either made of glass or not made of glass. Walang gitnang sagot. Hazel is awake. You're either awake or not awake. Hindi pwedeng sabay na ang isang tao ay gising, ang isang tao ay hindi. The statement is true. Ayon sa law of excluded middle, ang isang statement ay dapat either true or false lang. Hindi parehong totoo at hindi parehong mali. So in short, the law of excluded middle reminds us that there's no middle ground between truth and falsity. Ang isang bagay ay totoo o hindi totoo. So for examples, it is raining. This statement is either true or false. Hindi pwedeng partly true or halfway raining lang. Number 5 is an even number. This can only be true or false. Walang middle option. This cup is made of glass. It is either made of glass or not made of glass. Walang gitnang sagot. Hazel is awake. You're either awake or not awake. Hindi pwedeng sabay na ang isang tao ay gising, ang isang tao ay hindi. The statement is true. Ayon sa law of excluded middle, ang isang statement ay dapat either true or false lang. Hindi parehong totoo at hindi parehong mali. So in short, the law of excluded middle reminds us that there's no middle ground between truth and falsity. Ang isang bagay ay totoo o hindi totoo.
Truth table. A truth table is a mathematical table used in logic which shows all possible truth values of a proposition. They help visualize and analyze these statements or arguments in order to verify whether or not they are logical or true. A truth table is used to determine the truth value of a compound proposition based on all possible truth value of its part. Lastly, a truth table shows how the truth or falsity of a compound statement depends on the truth or falsity of the simple statements from which it is constructed. And why logic matters is important in this truth table. Number 1, it helps us to think clearly. Logic gives us our mind to think clearly before we speak. It helps us to separate facts from opinion. Example, instead we believe to the statement, logic gives us to think, is this true or what evidence support it? Next, improves decision making. Logical thinking helps us by choice and predict possible outcome. Example, if I study regularly, for sure all my grades is highest. We think every outcomes before we proceed to that next matter. Next, number 3, avoid mistakes and misunderstanding. Speak clearly and be an active listener to avoid assumptions. Be aware of and avoid common logical fallacies. Number 4, build a stronger arguments. Whether in writing or speaking, logic gives structure to our ideas. Logic can be valid even if the premises are false. But to avoid misunderstanding in real-world context, the premises should also be factually correct. Number 5, lastly, applies to real life. Logic is not only for math or philosophy, it's useful with that every day, every single day. Solving problems, making fair judgment, programming and computing, planning and organizing. Logic, it is matter because it guides us to think rationally, decide wisely, and be clearly communicate.
Summary. Number 1. A proposition can be true or false. A proposition is a statement that declares something about the world. It can be either true or false. Example, the sky is blue is a proposition that can be true or false depending on the context. Number 2. Logical connectives combine statements. Logical connectives and, or, not, if, then are used to combine propositions or statements to form more complex statements. Example, it is raining and the streets are wet. Number 3. Truth tables show all possible truth outcomes. A truth table is a table that lists all possible combinations of truth values for a set of propositions and shows the resulting truth value of a compound statement. It helps determine the validity of an argument. Number 4. The laws of logic keep reasoning clear, consistent, and contradiction-free. The laws of logic, law of identity, law of non-contradiction, law of excluded middle, provide the foundation for rational thinking and ensure that our arguments are valid and free from contradictions. 5. Logic matters because it helps us think rationally and communicate clearly. Logic is essential for critical thinking, problem solving, and effective communications. It helps us evaluate arguments, make informed decisions, and express ourselves clearly and precisely.
Practice exercises. Identify which of the following are propositions. Letter A. The sun rises in the east. It is a proposition because it can be judged as true or false. Letter B. What a nice day. It is not a proposition since this is an exclamation and not a statement that can be judged as true or false. Letter C. 3 plus 5 equals 10. It's a proposition because it can be answered as true or false. Create 2 simple propositions and combine them using and, or, and not. Combining propositions with and. For example, the student is studying, the teacher is teaching. Just combine both statement with and, as the student is studying and the teacher is teaching. Combining propositions with or. For example, I will study tonight. She will watch a movie. Just combine both statement with or, as I will study tonight or she will watch a movie. Combining propositions with not. Using not simply reverses the statement. It gives negation. For example, it is raining. I am at home. Just use not to simply reverse the statement as it is not raining. I am not at home.
Part 1. Identifying propositions. Determine whether each of the following is a proposition or not. If it is a proposition, state whether it is true or false. Number 1. The earth revolves around the sun. Yes, it is a proposition and it's true because it is an factual statement. Number 2. Close the window. It is not a proposition and it is a false statement because it has a command. Number 3. 7 plus 8 equals 14. It is a proposition, but the mathematical statement is incorrect. Number 4. Is it raining outside? It is not a proposition because the statement is a question. Number 5. The sky is green. Yes, it is a proposition, but the statement is false. Number 6. I think the pizza is delicious. It is not a proposition. Why? Because it is an opinion. It is subjective. Also, it is false. Number 7. 10 is an even number. Yes, it is a proposition and the true mathematical fact, so it is true. Number 8. What a beautiful flower. It is not a proposition because it has exclamation and no truth value. Number 9. All triangles have 3 sides. It is a proposition and it is true by definition. Number 10. Please finish your homework. It is not a proposition because it is a quick request, not a true or false.
So now let's move on to the second part of our exercise, where we need to identify whether it is a simple or compound proposition. And kung siya naman ay isang compound proposition, we also need to name kung ano yung logical connective na ginamit natin. So first, we have the cat is sleeping. So as we can see, there is just a single idea. So this is a simple proposition. Next, it is raining and the ground is wet. So dito naman, makikita natin, there are 2 ideas. So ito po ay isang compound proposition and ang logical connective na ginamit natin is and. Next, we have, if I wake up early, then I will go jogging. Ito po ay isang compound proposition. At ang ginamit nating logical connective is if, then, or if P, then Q. Next, we have the book is on the table or under the chair. Compound proposition, ang ginamit nating logical connective ay or. Next, the sun rises in the east. So, single idea, siya po ay simple proposition. Next, you will pass the test if and only if you study hard. Ito po ay isang compound proposition at ang ginamit nating logical connective ay if and only if. Next, we have the flowers are red and the vase is blue. Isa po siyang compound proposition ang ginamit naman nating logical connective ay and. And we have the moon is full, simple proposition. It is not raining. Again, simple proposition. And last, we have it. If the power goes out, then we will use candles. So, ito naman po ay compound proposition. At ang ginamit nating logical connective is if, then, or if P, then Q.
Part 4. Laws of thought. Identify which fundamental law of thought each statement demonstrates. Number 1. A cat is a cat. Answer is law of identity. Ang pusa ay pusa. Hindi ito nagiging ibang bagay o ibang hayop. Number 2. It is raining or it is not raining. Answer is law of excluded middle. Dalawa ang posibilidad, umuulan o hindi umuulan. Walang gitna o parehong totoo. Wala din ibang option. Number 3, this door cannot be both open and closed at the same time. Answer, law of non-contradiction. Dahil hindi maaaring sabay na totoo ang magkasalungat. Ang pinto ay hindi pwedeng bukas at sarado sa parehong oras. Number 4, 2 equals 2. Answer is law of identity. Dahil ang bawat bagay ay katumbas ng sarili nito. So, ang number 2 ay palaging number 2. Hindi kailanman magiging ibang number at hindi rin ito nagbabago. Number 5, Hazel is Hazel. Answer is law of identity. Ang isang tao ay siya pa rin. Si Hazel ay si Hazel, hindi siya ibang tao. Number 6, the light is on or it is not on. Answer, law of excluded middle. Dahil dalawa lang ang posibleng estado ng ilaw, nakabukas o nakapatay. Walang pangatlong posibilidad. Number 7, the car cannot be both moving and not moving at the same moment. Answer, law of non-contradiction. Hindi maaaring sabay na totoo na ang kotse ay gumagalaw at hindi gumagalaw sa parehong oras or hindi gagalaw ang kotse sa parehong sandali. Number 8, honesty is honesty. Answer is law of identity. Dahil ang katapatan ay nananatiling katapatan, hindi ito nagbabago ng kahulugan. Number 9, the sky is blue or it is not blue. Answer, law of excluded middle. Dahil malinaw na dalawa ang pagpipilian, ang langit ay maaaring color blue o hindi color blue. Wala nang ibang posibilidad. Number 10, this book is this book. Answer, law of identity. Ang libro na ito ay siya pa rin libro na ito, pareho at hindi nagbabago.